Okay, so I'm talking to a friend of mine on the phone the other day. His name is Tim. He lives down there in Colorado, somewhere between Denver and Colorado Springs, I guess. A lot of similarities in weather. Just he doesn't live in this tremendously cold part of the country where I do. I suppose the similarities are a lot, with the exception of it's probably 20 degrees colder here. But anyway, we were talking about a mutual friend. Well, he thought was a mutual friend, but more so on his side. At any rate, he told me that he was talking to this guy, and this guy just decided on a whim to sell his house, buy a truck, buy an RV, and hit the road. I was like, what? Yeah, he sold his house, he bought an RV, and he said he's going to go live in his RV with his wife. And so we started talking about it. I go, why would he do that? What in the heck is wrong with him? So I was just thinking about this while I'm plowing snow here. And I thought, okay, well, I sort of get it, I guess what I'm doing here is work to people. It's a lot of work. Owning a home is a lot of work. You got to cut the grass. You have to rake the leaves. You have to appease your neighbors, be a good neighbor. And in the wintertime, you have to do all those snow-related activities to keep your property up, like what I'm doing now. And so that compounded with having to pay your taxes, electric bill, mortgage payment. Things break down, you gotta fix them. A house is meant to be lived in. If you don't live in it, it's just gonna fall apart. Then nature's gonna reclaim it. So there's a lot of responsibility, and so I kind of get the allure of wanting to leave it all. But herein lies the problem. There's a lot of people that watch YouTube videos, myself included, and they watch these people that live full time in their RVs or vans or what have you, and they travel the countryside, and you watch what you think is going to be an exciting lifestyle, let's just say. So that got us to talking about what attracted him to it. Sure enough, it was probably the YouTube videos. And so, I was telling him, coincidentally enough, I too watch I wouldn't say a lot. I have several YouTube videos I follow of people that do this lifestyle. They live in their van or RV and they travel the country. Let's just say, I would say 20% of them travel the country. Let's just say the other 80% are pretty stationary. And give you an example, for this time of year, there's probably about 20 to 50,000 people down Quartzsite, Arizona. I didn't even know where Quartzsite, Arizona. I guess it's somewhere around Parker, but maybe Bullhead City, close to Nevada. I don't even know where it's at, but I hear a lot about it. I've never even bothered to look on a map because it's never interested me. Geography-wise, I didn't care. But I feel some pleasure in watching people that live in vans and RVs down in Quartzsite, Arizona this time of year. I don't know why. But to give you an example, I'll finish a full day's work, plowing the driveway, raking the roof, break this snowmobile. I call it the snowmobile, but it's a snowblower. I'll break it out and I'll do my walkways and get the snow away from it. Things you're supposed to do when you have a house in the middle of the north country when it snows. So when I'm all done with that, in the evening, I'll get in my lazy boy, I'll get my iPad out, and I'll see if I have any notifications for my subscriptions to various YouTube channels, and some of them, like I said, are down in Quartzsite, Arizona. And I'll watch these people, and they'll put their RVs around, let's just say, a covered wagon, semicircle or full circle, and they'll have a bunch of pallets, or, it's the desert, so they get wood somewhere, so usually it's pallets and things like that, and they'll have a bonfire. And they have little desert tents set up, community tents. I guess you could call them community tents, even though one individual put it up. Everyone sort of gathers there, and they have a potluck. And I'm talking about what I'm watching on video here, so you can contain yourself with the excitement that I must feel watching this. And they have a potluck, and they'll have a buffet table laid out, and everybody will be walking along the buffet table, helping themselves with these big, massive plates of food. And then they all sit around and have fellowship and talk. And, a lot of them are drinking. I totally get. I don't drink, but I used to, so I totally get it. And the video is 30 to 40 minutes of that. A bonfire, people eating and drinking and talking. And at the end of the video, I just watched 35 to 40 minutes of that. I'll hit the like button. I somehow liked it. I felt compelled to watch the whole thing. I thought, yeah, that was nice. I really like that. And then, the next video will come out, and it'll be some frail, young, older woman. Young and older women. On both sides of the scale. I just met Bill here, and Bill's going to take me to Parker, and he's going to take me to get some groceries. I just met him 10 minutes ago. I sure hope he doesn't kill me. Now, they obviously don't say that, but that's what I'm thinking. He just met him 10 minutes ago, and you're going to get in the car with him, and he's going to drive you out to get groceries, fill up your propane and water bottles? Yeah, I guess so. Well, there's that kind of trust. There's a kind of fellowship and a kind of camaraderie that compels you to do that sort of thing. And it usually works out. Usually works out well. Or, if you're watching the video, it does. So like I said, I work all day around the homestead, plowing snow or doing whatever it is I do, and I somehow find myself compelled to watch people in the desert eating, drinking, and singing karaoke or stuff like that, and find that enjoyable. Myself, I would never personally want to do it. I, as you know, really enjoy camping, and I really enjoy taking my Kodiak truck and my Arctic Fox truck camper aboard and exploring Minnesota, going to state parks. I totally get the allure of that. I totally understand why people would want to sell their home, get in an RV, buy a truck and just leave that responsibility behind. But one thing they don't tell you, like for example, if you're watching YouTube videos a lot, which apparently this couple has been doing, is that it's a secret, but shh, don't tell nobody. Probably about 80% of them end up buying a house somewhere. They will never call it a house or a place they live. They'll always call it a home base. They get a home base, or they'll buy a piece of land where they can park their RV, but invariably, after a while, they usually let's just say most of them, do this sort of thing. They do it for a reason, because I think as Americans, we all need a little piece of land or a little piece of property that we can call our own. A place that we can feel safe, even if we're not. It's just our space. And so invariably, a lot of these RVers I guess they don't like to be called that. Nomads buy themselves a little piece of land or a house or something, but they'll call it something different. Off-grid, home-based cabin, something like that. I don't know. But I totally understand why they would do it, though. I totally get it. In fact, I would do that. Anyway, talking about the weather and the snow and the misery index and all those things that compel people to go south for the winter is a wonderful thing, I guess. I myself, having lived in the desert for 20 plus years, don't feel compelled to go. I've been there, done that, and let's just say this is relaxing to me. This lifestyle of plowing snow in the winter and camping, fishing, cutting grass in the summer, that is a retirement lifestyle for me. Although a lot of the channels that I follow are people who are not, they are definitely not retired. They are living their life through YouTube funds and things like that. So they find themselves compelled to create content all the time. And I totally understand that. I really, really do. The only problem with that lifestyle is there's a lot of people that can't look past the other 23 and a half hours. Or they don't think about the other 23 and a half hours. And so this is what my friend Tim and I were talking about is, yeah, you don't have the responsibility of a home anymore, but you still have the upkeep of your truck and your camp. You know, let's just face it, these fifth wheel the campers they make nowadays are not made to live in full time. They're just not. They're weekenders, you know, and so you're always finding yourself having to fix something. I mean, certainly it's a lot cheaper than fixing something in a house, I would think, you know, but and you certainly have that feeling, I guess, of not as much responsibility, let's just say, but you still have responsibility. You know, you don't have to pay any property taxes anymore, but you can bet that you still have to pay taxes somehow, somewhere. and this is the thing. And this, I think, was the allure of this couple, was you watch a lot of YouTube videos and they'll see, you know, a 20-minute video of these RVers at the most spectacular places. And, you know, they'll see a 40-minute video of them at, you know, some canyon or some lake or just some really exotic location. I want to do that. I could do that. That could be me. But, you know, let's just face it. These people are putting out a 40-minute, sometimes an hour video of the very best of the very best. And then I guess I'm kind of cynical, unlike a lot of people, is I'm like, okay, that was nice. You know, I watched the whole thing. I even gave it a like. I hit that thumbs up button. I hit the thumbs up button for them having the potluck in the desert. I'm not one of those people say, I just wasted an hour of my life watching people sit around a campfire eating. I watched the whole thing for a reason. It's because it was good enough to watch, and so I watched it. And like I said, I'll enjoy it. I hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, I really like that. So anyway, getting back to, I always think of, that was great. That looked like an awesome location to be. That looked fun. I really am jealous. I'm really jealous that I'm not there with you right now, or I'm not there doing that right now. Or I may not have the courage to go out and do. Oh, let's face it, it takes courage. You gotta have some compulsion to do that sort of thing. There's no doubt about that. But like I said, what are they doing the other 23 hours? See, that's the thing. You know, I always think cynically like that. It's like, okay, I've just spent 14 days. Like a YouTube video, for example, I'm talking about. The guy will say, I just spent 14 days on BLM land here. Didn't have to pay a dime for it. I spent 14 days for free, camped here in my van or my camper, and I just saw these most spectacular views. Look, look, look. 14 day, they'll show you a 20-minute video of their 14-day experience, which was fantastic. But like I say, the cynic in me is like, okay, now what'd you do the other 13 days and 23 hours? That's what I think. That's what I think. It's like, you probably bored out of your mind. I don't know. And so it just sparked a discussion of why we do not go south for the winter, and why I don't consider things like I'm doing as far as all the snow clearing the last several days work. To me, that is what relaxation is. This is peaceful to me. I enjoy this. And when I'm all done working full 8 hours or however long it takes me to do any particular thing as far as work is concerned, I'll sit by the wood stove with a nice fire going, and I'll break out the iPad, and I'll watch people down at Quartzsite, Arizona, for example, eating and talking about nothing. And I will somehow have enjoyed it. It's like, okay, well, that just totally made my day. I really like that. Thank you for putting that video out. Tell Steve and Laverne and Shirley I said hello. Hope to see you again soon. And I watched the whole 40 minutes of nothing. But it was relaxing, and yeah. So this is what I do, and it somehow relaxes me. Probably just as much as those people enjoying their fellowship at Quartzsite. why I like to snow blow back here before I rake the roof? Otherwise it would be this high. Almost impossible to get a snow blower up here. I'm smart. Well, I would say we had a pretty relaxing day. It was just like sitting around a campfire. It was just like fellowship. It was everything I'd hoped it would be. And now the day is over with. We had a really good impact. Everything is so white. So clean looking. And that's pretty much the end of the day. So remember, Jesus is King. And thanks for watching. And we'll see y'all soon. God bless.